If you've ever noticed it's a little harder to get up from a chair or your legs feel heavier walking up the stairs, you're not alone. After 60, many older adults start to experience leg weakness, often without realizing why. It's not always about age catching up with you, it's about changes happening quietly inside your muscles, bones, and nerves. But here's the good news. Once you understand what's really going on, you can take action to stay strong, steady, and independent. In this episode of My Reboot, we're breaking down 5 common reasons your legs may be feeling weaker, and what you can do about it. 1. Muscle loss, sarcopenia, the silent strength stealer. Let's begin with one of the biggest, and most overlooked, reasons your legs may be getting weaker after 60, muscle loss, also known by its medical name, sarcopenia. This condition is surprisingly common, yet many people have never even heard of it. In fact, researchers estimate that adults can lose up to a third of their muscle mass between the ages of 60 and 80 if no action is taken. And the legs are usually the first to suffer. Why the legs? Because they contain the largest and most used muscle groups in your body, your quadriceps, hamstrings, calves, and glutes. Every time you stand, walk, sit, climb stairs, or bend down, these muscles are working for you. They're your body's foundation. But just like any structure, if the foundation starts to weaken, the whole system is affected. The changes can be subtle at first, like getting tired faster, noticing stairs feel harder, or needing to grab a railing for balance. But if ignored, those small signs can turn into big problems, like falls or difficulty standing up from a chair. Now here's something many don't realize: muscle naturally declines with age, even if you feel healthy. Starting in your 40s, your body begins to lose about 1% of muscle mass per year. By your 60s, that process can speed up, especially if you're less active, not getting enough protein, or dealing with health issues like arthritis or chronic inflammation. And since sarcopenia doesn't cause pain in the early stages, most people don't notice it's happening until a fall, a sudden loss of balance, or a noticeable change in mobility wakes them up. The good news? Muscle loss is not a one-way street. Research now shows that older adults can rebuild muscle, even into their 70s, 80s, and beyond, with the right approach. That means combining regular movement, even gentle resistance or bodyweight exercises, proper nutrition, and consistent protein intake. Certain foods, like fatty fish, eggs, Greek yogurt, beans, and leafy greens, can help your muscles recover and grow. These aren't exotic or expensive. They're simple foods with powerful effects when eaten regularly. But nutrition alone isn't enough. Movement matters just as much. Activities like walking, light strength training, and even chair exercises can stimulate muscle fibers and keep them active. The key is consistency, using your muscles every day, in small but meaningful ways. It's like putting money back into your strength bank. 2. Bone density loss, the hidden risk beneath the surface. We often think of leg weakness as a muscle problem, but there's another layer beneath that: your bones. As we age, we don't just lose muscle, we also lose bone density, especially in the hips, knees, and spine. And just like with muscle, you might not notice the decline right away. But over time, this quiet weakening of your skeletal structure can lead to instability, balance issues, joint pain, and yes, leg weakness. Let's break it down. After age 50, especially in women post-menopause, the body's ability to maintain strong, dense bones begins to slow. Calcium absorption drops, hormone levels change, and bones start to become more porous. This condition is known as osteopenia, and when it progresses further, it becomes osteoporosis. These terms may sound medical and distant, but their impact is deeply personal. Imagine standing up and feeling a twinge in your hip, or realizing your posture is changing, or that your knees ache more often than they used to. These aren't just signs of aging, they're often signals that the structure under your muscles needs more support. Here's something that surprises many people. Weak bones can cause your legs to feel weak, even if your muscles are still somewhat strong. If the bones are no longer supporting your body's weight effectively, your muscles have to work harder to compensate. That means simple tasks like walking, standing, or going upstairs can start to feel more demanding, leading to fatigue and a cycle of doing less, which only makes things worse. Another factor? When bones weaken, we instinctively start to move more cautiously, and sometimes, that fear of falling causes us to stop using our legs as much. That playing it safe instinct is understandable, but unfortunately, it often accelerates bone and muscle loss. Inactivity becomes the enemy of strength. But here's the hope: bone loss is not inevitable, and even if you've already been diagnosed with low bone density, there's a lot you can do to slow or even reverse the trend. Let's talk solutions, the way we do on My Reboot. Nutrition comes first. Your bones thrive on calcium, vitamin D, magnesium, and vitamin K. Foods like leafy greens, spinach, kale, dairy, yogurt, cheese, milk, fortified plant milks, almonds, and fatty fish like salmon are all rich in the nutrients your bones need. A daily serving of plain Greek yogurt, for instance, gives you calcium and protein in one delicious bowl. And don't forget sunshine. Your skin produces vitamin D naturally when exposed to light. Movement matters. Weight-bearing exercises, like walking, gentle hiking, dancing, or even low-impact strength training, send a signal to your bones: stay strong, we still need you. Even something as simple as standing up from a chair repeatedly, or balancing on one foot, can improve bone strength and lower body stability. Get checked. If you're over 60, ask your doctor about a bone density scan, especially if you've had fractures or have a family history of osteoporosis. These scans are painless and can give you a clearer picture of where your bones stand, and what you can do to help them. And finally, let's talk confidence. Weak bones can cause a real emotional toll. They can make you doubt your footing, worry about walking on uneven ground, or hesitate before doing something you once enjoyed. But with the right knowledge, habits, and support, you can reclaim that confidence. 3. Nerve changes and poor circulation, when the signals don't reach your legs. Now let's talk about something that's often overlooked when it comes to leg weakness after 60, your nerves and blood flow. If your muscles are the engines and your bones are the frame, your nerves and blood vessels are the wiring and plumbing, and when those start to malfunction, your legs can't do their job properly. Let's start with nerves. As we get older, our nervous system becomes less efficient at sending clear signals from the brain to the muscles. This is especially true in the lower body. Nerves can become damaged by aging itself, but also by conditions like diabetes, vitamin deficiencies, especially B12, or spinal issues like sciatica or spinal stenosis. If you've ever felt numbness, tingling, burning, or weakness in your feet or legs, especially after sitting or standing for too long, that could be a sign that your nerves aren't communicating as well as they used to. This kind of nerve decline doesn't always cause pain. Sometimes it shows up more subtly. Maybe your legs feel dead tired after short walks, or you notice your balance is off, even though your muscles still feel strong. That's because the nerves that help you sense the ground, adjust your posture, and react to changes in terrain are slowing down. When those signals get delayed, your body becomes more vulnerable to falls and fatigue. Now let's look at the circulatory side. Your legs depend on a steady supply of oxygen-rich blood to fuel every step you take. But after 60, your arteries can start to narrow due to a condition called peripheral artery disease, PAD, which is more common than many realize. PAD is like a traffic jam in your blood vessels. It reduces the amount of blood that reaches your muscles, especially during activity. The result? You might feel fine when resting, but experience cramps, heaviness, or fatigue when walking or climbing stairs. That's your legs begging for more oxygen. Poor circulation also affects healing. If you get a minor bruise, scrape, or swelling in your lower legs or feet, it can take longer to recover. That's why so many older adults develop chronic swelling in their ankles or slow-healing wounds. Because the blood just isn't moving like it used to. Here's something encouraging, though: nerve and circulation issues can be managed, and sometimes even improved, with the right strategies. Let's talk about what we share on My Reboot. Move more often, but gently. Movement is one of the best ways to stimulate both nerve activity and circulation. Regular walks, foot flexing exercises, gentle calf raises, or even rolling your feet on a tennis ball can boost blood flow and help reawaken nerve endings. Think of movement as waking up your legs. Eat for nerve and vessel health. Certain nutrients are key for maintaining healthy nerves and blood vessels. B vitamins, especially B12, omega-3 fatty acids, and antioxidants all support nerve function. Good sources include fish, eggs, leafy greens, nuts, and whole grains. And don't forget hydration. Dehydration thickens your blood and slows circulation. Watch your feet. If you've been noticing numbness, pins and needles, or cold feet, don't brush it off. These are early signs of trouble in your nerves or circulation. Make sure you're checking your feet daily, wearing properly fitted shoes, and discussing symptoms with your doctor. They may suggest testing for PAD or checking vitamin levels. Avoid sitting too long. Long stretches of sitting, especially in recliners or at a desk, can compress nerves and slow blood flow. Try to stand or move at least every 30 to 60 minutes. Even light stretching or walking around the room can make a difference. If your legs have been feeling weak, wobbly, or just not like they used to, there's a chance the issue isn't just in the muscle, but in the messages and circulation supporting those muscles. The good news is, with the right habits, you can help restore that connection and feel more steady, confident, and energized. 4. Joint stiffness and arthritis, when movement becomes a struggle. Now let's talk about one of the most common and frustrating causes of leg weakness after 60, joint stiffness and arthritis. If you've ever stood up from a chair and felt your knees creak, or taken that first step in the morning only to feel like your hips or ankles are locked up, you already know what I'm talking about. This isn't just normal aging, it's a sign that your joints may be struggling to keep up. Let's break it down. Your joints are where your bones meet, knees, hips, ankles, and they're cushioned by cartilage and lubricated by synovial fluid. But over time, that cushioning wears down, especially if you've spent years standing, walking, or carrying extra weight. The result? The bones start to rub more closely together, causing inflammation, pain, and stiffness. This is the most common form of arthritis, osteoarthritis. When your joints are stiff or painful, you naturally start using your legs less. You might avoid stairs, skip your walks, or stop bending and stretching the way you used to. And here's the problem. When you move less, your muscles weaken even faster. It becomes a vicious cycle. Joint pain leads to inactivity, inactivity leads to muscle loss, and muscle loss leads to even more pressure on your joints. But arthritis doesn't always scream for attention. Sometimes it creeps in quietly. Maybe you notice you can't squat like you used to, or you're not as quick to get up off the couch. You might feel sore after a walk, or stiff after sitting too long. These are all subtle signs that your joints are inflamed or not moving as smoothly as they should. Let me share something we often talk about on My Reboot. Leg weakness caused by joint problems is not just a muscle issue, it's a movement issue. If the joints don't bend or support your weight comfortably, your muscles can't work the way they're supposed to. And if you ignore that stiffness, it often gets worse. So what can you do? The good news is there are simple, proven ways to support joint health and ease stiffness, even if you've already been diagnosed with arthritis. Here's what we recommend. 1. Keep moving, but in the right way. Gentle movement actually reduces joint stiffness. Low-impact activities like walking, swimming, tai chi, or even chair yoga can increase circulation to your joints and reduce pain. Motion is lotion, as they say, and it's true. The more you move, without overdoing it, the more your joints stay lubricated and your muscles stay active. 2. Focus on foods that fight inflammation. Certain foods help calm inflammation, which is the root of most arthritis pain. Fatty fish like salmon, leafy greens, berries, nuts, and olive oil are all great choices. And don't forget turmeric. It's a natural anti-inflammatory that may support joint comfort when used consistently with black pepper for better absorption. 3. Manage your weight gently. Carrying extra weight, especially around the belly, adds strain to your knees and hips. Every extra pound can put up to 4 additional pounds of pressure on your knees. That's why even small weight loss can make a big difference in joint pain. No crash diets needed, just gradual, healthy changes can lighten the load on your joints and make walking easier again. 4. Consider supportive footwear. The shoes you wear can make or break your joint health. Look for supportive, cushioned shoes with good arch support and a wide base for stability. If your feet aren't supported, your knees and hips will pay the price. 5. Talk to your doctor early. If you suspect arthritis or joint degeneration, don't wait for it to become debilitating. There are many non-drug therapies now available: physical therapy, braces, anti-inflammatory nutrition plans, even low-impact exercise classes designed for joint health. 5. Low energy and fatigue. When your legs feel heavy, even if you're rested. We've talked about muscles, bones, joints, and nerves, but now it's time to address something that many older adults feel but often can't explain: that deep, dragging fatigue in the legs. Not pain. Not weakness from arthritis. Just that heavy, tired sensation, as if your legs are made of cement blocks by mid-afternoon. Sound familiar? This kind of fatigue can make every step feel like a chore. You might wake up feeling okay, but by the time you walk to the kitchen or go for your daily stroll, your legs start to feel worn out. It's frustrating, especially when you feel like you're doing everything right. But here's the thing: leg fatigue isn't just about overuse or aging, it's often tied to what's going on inside your body. Let's break it down. After 60, your body naturally becomes less efficient at producing and using energy. Several systems that once worked smoothly, your heart, lungs, digestive tract, and even your metabolism, start to slow down. As a result, the energy supply to your muscles, especially your legs, becomes limited. You may be eating enough, even sleeping well, but your body isn't converting that fuel into movement as effectively. Here are a few key culprits behind leg fatigue in older adults. Poor circulation and lower oxygen delivery. If your heart or blood vessels aren't pumping blood efficiently, your legs won't get the oxygen they need to perform. You'll tire quickly, even after minimal activity. This is common in people with heart conditions, high blood pressure, or even mild anemia, low iron levels. Nutrient deficiencies. Lack of certain nutrients, like iron, B12, magnesium, or potassium, can cause your muscles to feel sluggish, shaky, or drained. These nutrients are critical for muscle contraction, nerve signals, and energy production. Even mild deficiencies can leave you feeling wiped out, especially in your lower body. Chronic conditions. Conditions like diabetes, thyroid issues, and chronic fatigue syndrome can make your muscles feel tired even when you haven't done much. In some cases, your cells can't use glucose, sugar, properly, which limits your energy, even if you're eating normally. Poor hydration. Believe it or not, even mild dehydration can lead to fatigue, muscle cramps, and weakness in the legs. Your body relies on water to move nutrients into your muscles and clear out waste. Without enough fluid, your muscles simply don't function well. Lack of consistent activity. When you're less active, your muscles don't build up endurance, and they tire faster. It's like having a battery that drains more quickly because it hasn't been fully charged in a while. That's why a short walk can feel exhausting if your muscles aren't conditioned for regular activity. So, what can you do when your legs feel tired all the time, even if you're not pushing them too hard? Here's what we share with our My Reboot community. Fuel wisely. Start your day with slow-digesting, nutrient-rich foods like oatmeal topped with berries and chia seeds, a boiled egg, or Greek yogurt. These combinations provide energy, protein, and key minerals that support your legs throughout the day. Avoid loading up on sugary snacks, which give you a quick burst of energy followed by a crash. Hydrate consistently. Aim for small sips of water throughout the day, especially in the morning and before physical activity. If you're not a fan of plain water, try herbal teas or add a splash of lemon or cucumber for flavor. Strengthen your stamina. The best way to fight leg fatigue is to gently build endurance. Start with 5-minute walks and gradually increase. Use stairs when you can. Stretch your calves and hamstrings to improve circulation. Even light movement helps your body build a stronger energy response over time. Talk to your doctor. If leg fatigue is persistent or worsening, it's worth asking for a blood test to check for anemia, B12 deficiency, thyroid function, or circulatory issues. Sometimes the solution is as simple as adjusting your diet or taking a supplement. Have you noticed any signs of leg weakness lately? And what's helped you feel stronger again? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We read every one and love hearing your stories. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to My Reboot for more uplifting, practical tips to keep you strong, steady, and independent for years to come.